Since 1994, on the remote island of Hokkaido, North Japan, in the city of Sapporo at Hokkaido University, at the Media Laboratory of the Computer Science Department, extensive research has been conducted and realized on the concept of media and knowledge federation.
Yes, it is in here that numerous researchers for the last 17 years have experimented and implemented, though mainly for Japanese eyes, several versions of what has come to be known as IntelligentPad or Intelligent Box. Even though this little film is about the present, or maybe even more about the future, we think it is useful to first let you in on where it all started, and we will do that by travel back in time and let Professor Yuzuru Tanaka, the founder of Media Laboratory, be our guide to the past.
What kind of media can bring out creativity? This was the question that initiated my research. Creativity makes evolution. Evolution itself brings out creativity. The biological evolution depends on the genes. Wouldn't computers need genes then? Creativity and evolution require such media that can copy like genes, rearrange like genes, and get selected by its environment like genes. I'm sure all of you know about the toy block, the Lego. Lego provides various vehicles, buildings, cities, and amusement park kits. The kits are designed to have different kinds of parts used in a variety of ways and also are for learning by trial and error the process of arranging goods. After the imitating step, different arrangements of familiar parts and the use of new parts brings out a new creation. Here we can say that the world of Lego expands and progresses creatively. In creativity and evolution, it is essential to perform both the composition and decomposition of objects as quickly and easily as the editing of documents. Personal computers have enabled us to edit multimedia documents. However, personal computers have not been able to edit already existing tools to create new tools. What I would like to show you now is a media system that brings out creativity and evolution. This is called IntelligentPad. In the world of IntelligentPad, documents and tools are expressed by pads, which appear as a paper image on the screen. Documents and tools are constructed by pasting together various pads. Each pad can relay its state changes to all the pads pasted on itself. Composite pads can be decomposed by simply taking off their component pads. The basic mechanism of the IntelligentPad is simply this. This simplicity makes IntelligentPad perfect for use in general purposes. Media that is simple and used for general purposes that brings out creativity and evolution is the IntelligentPad. IntelligentPad guarantees the marketing of pads. Various composite pads, marketed through networks or offline media, can be copied and brought into one's own environment. And by decomposing them, one can use some of their components to create other new functional pads. If one was to make a hypothesis, you could say that if there were only 10,000 programmers and each of them developed 3 kinds of primitive pads, there would be over 30,000 varieties of primitive pads made each year, and this will continue to increase. Let's then say that there are 50 million users, and these people edit the tools to develop on the average 5 different composite pads a year. Then every year, there would be an increase of 250 million different composite pads accumulated in this society. Composite pads are genes for computers. Rearranging different kinds of composite pads is possible. Installing the original pad is regarded as mutation. The accumulation of pads in the society is similar to that of the gene pool. The pads that are useful get copied frequently. This follows the natural selection rule. By considering pads in this way, these pads can be called meme media, a media that carries what Richard Dawkins names a meme. The pool of pads that works as the pool of memes promises the rapid evolution of intellectual resources carried by pads. I strongly believe in this process of evolution.
Advances on the web have given individuals real-time access to the world by enabling them to retrieve and transmit a wide variety of information. The challenge, though, is in developing the desirable technology and fishing this boundless ocean of data for the necessary portions of information, and utilizing these portions in retransmitting new information. IntelligentPad wraps data and programs without altering their function. and displays them on personal computers as pads, which are like sheets of paper in appearance. These pads shown here have different shapes and colors depending on their function. Each pad has a number of so-called slots, which act as the data and programming input-output interface. When one pad is pasted onto another pad, the slots of the child pad being pasted are connected with the slot of the parent pad. This process establishes a parent-child relationship between pads and enables the exchange of functions and data via the slots. The systematic pasting of pads containing various functions and data in this way offers anyone the ability to freely compile various types of software and contents. The three-dimensional application of IntelligentPad technology is what we call Intelligent Box. Three-dimensional web information can be clipped, integrated, and re-edited in the same way as two-dimensional information. This is a technology that also allows people to use their own imagination in recombining how the increasingly interconnected mobile devices, sensor networks, and home electronics equipment can be linked with the web, to add modifications to the structure and apply their own ideas in customizing the network. It offers all sorts of people a higher dimension in sharing and reusing knowledge. Leveraging computer technology as the basis for making this type of media a reality is the ultimate goal of our research.
コンピューターの技術をそのベースに実現していきたいというのが究極の目的です。
With this little glimpse through the rearview mirror, we hope you are now prepared to follow us on a tour of the latest implementation of the IntelligentPad architecture, the Webble World. Before we start, let's make sure you understand the basics. Webbles, the next generation of IntelligentPads, are interactive digital objects that reside inside the knowledge media architecture environment of Webble World, available in a browser near you. Webble World will allow us to create, publish, edit, manipulate, use, compose, reuse, decompose, and share various forms of interactive documents and tools directly in the browser. Objects ranging from traditional web documents with text and images to interactive tools, virtual labs, games, and community corners can be created and recreated with these building blocks of meme Lego. Webbles are rendered through Microsoft Silverlight, a free browser plugin for rich internet applications. An implementation choice carefully made for convenience to both Webble developers and Webble users alike. Let's load a few Webbles and get to know what makes them such. There are three different types of Webbles: primitive, non-manipulated directly from the hands of a Webble programmer; compound, manipulated and or combined into gadget-like entity; or application, a complex net of Webbles that work together solving multiple tasks. We will here load just a few random compound Webbles. All these are compound Webbles, created by primitives inside the browser and saved back to the Webble repository for us to now enjoy. As you see, there are now 40 Webbles on the screen, 8 compound gadgets created from 17 different primitives. Each different compound Webble differs in complexity and usefulness, all depending on the creator's purpose and goal. A simple Webble like this is built by label Webbles, slider Webbles, and a customizable example Webble. The image of the cat was of the same primitive Webble type as this animated ghost. All differences between them were made by configurations done in the browser, no programming. When ungrouping a compound Webble, you can decompose it at will and maybe use its parts in another way. How you use or recombine any Webbles you found in the global Webble repository is all up to you, and when you are done, you can easily save your contribution back to the web for others to use. All media accessible via the web can be utilized by your Webbles. An excellent way to understand how Webbles works is by decomposing a compound Webble someone else made. Every Webble have a pop-up menu, And when selected, a range of interaction spheres appear, which can be used to manipulate and customize the Webble. To change a Webble's behavior can often be very simple and done with just a few mouse clicks. All Webbles can form parent-child relationships with each other, which allows them to communicate through their property slots. Most of the magic lies within the relationships and the slot connections. The sky is the limit, or at least only your imagination. The simplest building block in Webble World is the primitive Webble, and it is how you glue them together that will determine what your final product will be like. As a new Webble World visitor, it will make a lot of sense to take a look at the documentation, which should answer most questions you might have of how to go about. The Webble World guide should make you up and running in no time, to understand the foundation of Webbles and how they can communicate with each other. Even though the current amount of primitive Webble building blocks are not as high as it one day will be, one can achieve quite astonishing things already just by using the best type of Webble glue. The Webble World platform is still very young, but already there are several fascinating projects being developed on top of it, so-called Webble applications. Let me show you a few. Together with the Europeana project, this tool for searching and composing museum artifacts into new form of documents have been developed. By using the latest developed map Webble, a wide range of apps and compound Webbles are being brought forward. Developed in Germany, this virtual lab environment teaching children about solar energy has proven the Webble concept in many ways. In the biggest project so far, the Webble World team has been developing an application called the Trial Outline Builder, which works as a designer of medical trials for cancer research. But the same tool also allows physicians to record their patients' progress through the trial, as well as allowing researchers to analyze all the collected data, all thanks to Webbles. And many more projects of Webble wrapping of existing tools and system developments for generic and customizable manipulations of data is also being developed. So this leads me to why I am here and why you are there. We want you to join the Webble evolution. We want the whole world to be part of what's coming next, the evaluation of the platform and the extension of more Webbles. There are many ways for you to participate and for all type of users. But one thing they all have in common is the need to register as a Webble user on the Webble World website, to be able to save our work for others to see. It is simple and fast, and it allows the system to make sure credits of development goes where it should, and to ensure a minimal level of honest dedication as a Webble developer. The most hardcore Webble developer is of course the programmer who creates primitive Webbles. He or she would download the developer's pack from the website and use the .NET templates together with the fundamental C# source code for Webbles to create these primitive building blocks with the use of MS Visual Studio and available Silverlight tools. Details on exactly how to write Webble code is available in the online documentation. We hope we have tickled your curiosity enough to make you take up this challenge and become one of many new independent Webble World creators.
We at Me Media Laboratory, me, my research staff and my students, thank you for your attention and hope that the new next Webble we will find online will be yours. Your participation will extend the web, work as meme media and a meme pool.
I think to myself, what a wonderful